Namaste. Ever since I was a little girl, I remember being obsessed with two things. Two dreams that life seemed to be all about. Building a fantasy, magical mud home and finding the love of my life to inhabit it with. And I've learned that they are both equally misunderstood. But before we talk about the 8 myths that bind love and mud so inexplicably, here's a little backstory about me. I don't have an architectural degree, or engineering, or even an art background. And you actually don't need one to build a humble mud home. It is a longing that we are all born with, along with the instinct to satiate that longing. My fondest memories are of hot afternoons spent in a dark, cool tent made of bed sheets, and of grand sand castles with tunnels, of swinging from trees, and of my cherished treasure box, full of my drawings of these mysterious lands with fairy homes that I would someday live in. But being good academically and pushed to follow the conventional road, somewhere that dream got lost. Post my MBA, I spent 10 years in the corporate world, firmly entrenched in the top management of the likes of Fitness First and govt and DTZ, making good money, having the corner office, winning awards, buying the proverbial penthouse. But those very positions are like shackles that need to be broken. So it took leaving it all behind, donating almost everything I owned, standing vulnerable, without pretense or defense, for my dream to return. And therein, Geeli Mitti was born. And I realized that it actually wasn't just my dream. The name signifies the euphoria and intoxicating perfume of the soil after the first rain. The literal translation just means wet earth, or wet soil, or wet mud. But much like a cheesy pickup line, sometimes we get calls with a "Hello, Geeli Mitti, abhi sukhi ki nahi?" And much like a pickup line, sometimes it makes me laugh, and at other times just walk away, or in this case, disconnect the call. So let's come back now to the myths about mud and love. Myth number 1, in no particular order. It doesn't last. It's only temporary. It's not real. Mud homes have been around for as long as civilization has. Even today, the world is full of centuries-old houses, either occupied through generations after generations or left as a relic. They are the Hercules of the building world. And yet, these durable homes can breathe. They are alive. It interacts with the environment constantly. So you don't feel like you are trapped in a concrete grave, like you're already dead. These mud walls soak up the heat from the sun in the daytime and release it inside your home at night when the temperature actually dips. And in the daytime, these same walls then release this coolness that they have stored through the night. That's how mud homes regulate the temperature, and when designed right, they eliminate the need for expensive air conditioning or heating in most cases. You know what's even more fascinating is the natural humidity control provided, which keeps us healthy and comfortable. So when you meet, even after a period of separation, the love is just as fresh and vibrant and pure. It doesn't need time off. It changes and evolves as life demands, but it stays. Myth number 2. It will collapse in stormy weather. It will dissolve into a heap in heavy rains. Well, the basis of every relationship and your mud home is a strong foundation. With a good pair of boots and a hat, your mud house will be able to battle heavy rains. Just keep your mud walls elevated from the ground and give it a good overhang. Also, design according to your climate and geography. For example, a dome would be better suited for hurricanes, wide patios for the tropics, pitched roofs for heavy rainfall or snow, stilts for floods. Even the technique must be chosen according to the soil type and ecology. Like bamboo and earthwork technique would be more suited for earthquake-prone areas. After all, what's love that can't survive a job loss or a few fights, right? Myth number 3. You can't build on it, can't expand. Well, most of our towers and forts and temples are several hundred feet high and several centuries old, built of stone and lime and mud, all humble materials primarily. The 16th century city of Shibam, as an example, has skyscrapers 7 floors high, built just of mud bricks called adobe, and they're still very much there. Your mud home will expand organically, not just vertically, and extra room added as the family grows. Or perhaps a bigger garage for that new car. The home can take additions and it grows with you, just like love. Let's talk about myth number 4. It takes up too much space. It's not suitable for expensive real estate, like in the metros or cities. Where does that even come from? Your home can have 2 feet thick walls or 6 inches. They can be load bearing or not. It's all in the choice of technique and design. And personally speaking, I'd rather have a high quality, healthy, toxin free, ecological, energy efficient home than an extra foot wide passage. Good design, remember, thrives in constraints. And we all know that love comes in all shapes and sizes. But isn't it still always worthy, prime real estate or not? Myth number 5. Now this one is interesting and confusing. There are naysayers who have relegated mud homes only for the poor. And then there are those who say it's a hobby of the rich. I say it's for everyone. You would go around and box love according to one's bank balance, right? Love doesn't care about that. It adapts and fits in with your lifestyle. It makes you rich in the only way that counts. Myth number 6. But what about pests? Well, whenever there is something glorious and sweet and beautiful, it will attract everyone, not just you. But I joke. Most of the concerns seem to be primarily about termites and rats, which in my experience seem to be just as much an issue in any regular dead concrete house, right? Why the specific concern with mud homes? Or rather, why the mud slinging them? I wonder. But again, with appropriate design understanding about your soil and ecological balance, and by putting in natural treatments while building itself, termites end up becoming a boon, not a bane in your surrounding. They decompose materials and they add fertility. The rest is general maintenance and upkeep as any home and relationship will need always. Bringing us to myth number 7. It isn't suitable for bathrooms and kitchens. How would you install plumbing, and electrical wires maybe for that matter. Actually, utilities go in like in any of your cement homes. You can also look up some of my detailed videos explaining that later. For wet areas, there are so many options for mud walls, from line rendering to TEDxSVC to wax polishing, but all need to be supported by good design. That's a given. And all of these make mud suitable for every single area. After all, you can and should make love everywhere. What's a kitchen for, if not slow dancing anyway, right? And finally, that brings us to myth number 8. It's only for those building a new house or for a holiday home. Think of it this way. You can apply mud plaster on your existing walls of, let's say, your cement house. And with some additional retrofitting, it has given us 5 degrees Celsius cooling even in the sweltering summers of Delhi. Not to mention the cleaner air and humidity control. And then there's mud panes, there's mud flooring, and we've even built mud rooms on terraces and rooftops of existing city homes. So there's really no end to it. So go on, bring some mud and love into your life. No matter the circumstance. Love yourself, love your life, love the world, and mud your home. Thank you.